Hello, everyone. It's Steve with Aptera Owners Club. We have so much to talk about today. Aptera released this press release talking about their supply agreement with CPC Group. And this is actually something that's been in the works for several months. I think about 2 months ago, when they had their preferred investor meeting, they announced this supplier. And so it's not like they just picked this supplier, they've known about it for a long time. And so they're talking about how CPC Group is in Modena, Italy, in the heart of the Italian Motor Valley, and they're calling it. Usually, car companies, when they have a body, they call it body in white, and it's kind of a throwback to when they used to dip the car bodies in this white material to keep it from rusting and stuff, and they would call it the body in white. But they're being kind of cute and calling it body in carbon. And initially, when Aptera was making theirs out of composite, I was thinking that it would be really cool if they made it out of carbon fiber, but carbon fiber is very expensive. It takes a lot of work to lay up the sheets, and it's pretty labor intensive to make a car out of carbon fiber. A lot of supercars made out of carbon fiber. So I thought that that'd just be too expensive for Aptera. But in fact, they are making it out of carbon fiber, and not the traditional kind of carbon fiber, something called carbon fiber sheet molding compound, or CFSMC, and then combined with glass sheet molding compound, SMC. This is essentially a type of fiberglass, this glass sheet molding compound. It's good to see Steve's Fambro back in front of the camera. It's kind of ironic that he is doing the big release video for Aptera a few days after I made that video about how Steve is back. He's been back, and what was funny is they were saying at the Fully Charged show that he was in Europe talking to suppliers. It's very likely that he was talking to CPC Group during Fully Charged, and that's probably why he's doing this video. All right, so let's kind of just look over this video. The first part, he was talking about the solar panels and all the group they were doing, and telling people to watch the solar panels. So you guys have seen this video, and if you haven't seen this video, you should definitely go to Aptera's website or on YouTube, their official page, and watch this video. This is not pictures of the Aptera molding. These are just pictures of the thing that CPC Group is doing for other vehicles. Now, this is a mock-up of Aptera's thing. It was 4 pieces, but now it's 6 pieces. I'm guessing they talked to the engineers at CPC Group and redesigned it for better manufacturability. And I really like the way they did it. There's a lot of overlap between the parts, and we can talk about that a little bit later. But there's 6 pieces now instead of 4. And it looks like the 2 side pieces are made of fiberglass, or the regular SMC, and the rest of it, the passenger shell, is made of this carbon fiber SMC. And this is Sandy Monroe talking about how he thinks it's very rigid and it's very easy to make it very precise so that it fits together really well. Bertoli is another Italian company. They make CNC machines, and you can see the CNC machines trimming the SMC off after they press it. And so this is the pressing. So I kind of thought when I saw that it was kind of like Tesla's GigaPress, but the GigaPress is for metal. This is a way of making this carbon fiber SMC. And you see here, this is probably, these are carbon fiber SMC. And there's a lot of overlap and interlocks here. So this part is carbon fiber, and then these 2 parts right here look like they are the regular fiberglass. But that's the least structural part of the whole thing. Then he's talking about going to their Move website, and you can help out with various efforts to change the laws for dealerships and helmet riding and that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about CPC Group. So CPC Group is in Modena, Italy. Like they said, and it's located in kind of the northern part of the city, in the industrial part of the city. And you can see this is the big tower that they were building this at the time that the Google car drove through it, so in the middle of construction. And I think that this thing is solar panels up top, so they're pretty much into the sustainability, and so it's kind of good that their corporate headquarters has solar panels on it, and Aptera is a solar car, kind of fits nicely. If you look at this, Modena is in the northern part of Italy, and the reason they call it the Motor Valley is there's a lot of car companies that are associated with there. Number one, Modena is the birthplace of Enzo Ferrari, and so Ferrari is located there. And they actually had a Ferrari model, which you guys may remember, the 360 Modena. So this is it. It's named after the city. And south of the city, they're a Formula One team, which I believe is one of the oldest and most successful Formula One teams. Scuderia Ferrari is located in Modena. Then other companies are Pagani, de Tomaso. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these right even. And then, of course, Lamborghini is there. And what's funny is that Lamborghini, I think the Aventador was one of the first all carbon fiber supercars built way back in the day. And now most supercars are built with carbon fiber because it's so light and strong. And of course, Formula One cars are made with carbon fiber. If you look at, so you see all the carbon fiber on here. This Pagani has a lot of carbon fiber. If you look at Formula One cars, there's basically the whole thing is carbon fiber. So about CPC Group, it was formed in 1959. It was a modeling company, and they did a lot of metal work initially, but now they've transitioned over mostly to do this composite work. They have about 1,000 employees, and actually Mitsubishi has bought a large part of the company. They bought about 44%. Okay, see, so Mitsubishi bought about a 44% equity stake in CPC from its founder. And I think the way this relationship works is that Mitsubishi Chemical Corporation is producing a lot of the raw materials, the carbon fibers and the epoxy resins. And then CPC is actually doing the molding and stuff because that's what they have the expertise in. So I think Mitsubishi thought it was a good idea to buy out part of them and get kind of vertically integrated. And this is CPC Group's website. And if you go in there in the different departments, there's this pressed carbon, and this is the department for pressed carbon. And they're talking about the SMC and the CFSMC and what kind of things they have. They have like a 5,000 ton press, which is one of the largest presses in the entire world. And this is the most important thing I think see here, that at present, the pressed carbon department has a production capacity of over 500,000 pieces per year. So if Aptera is 6 pieces, that's close to 100,000 Apteras per year, which means that as of now, CPC Group has more than enough capacity to be the supplier for Aptera, because I don't think Aptera is going to ramp up to 100,000 Apteras per year anytime soon. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is Jason Hill sent me an email and told me to watch this documentary called Lords of Carbon. It's on YouTube. And if you see here, this is the CEO of CPC Group. He comes in at about 37 minutes. I watched the whole documentary. It is fascinating. If you're into history, into technology, and into supercars, you will enjoy this documentary. He interviews people from Lamborghini, from Ferrari, from Koenigsegg, from Rimrack Automobiles, and a bunch of other supercar companies, and kind of goes through the whole history of how carbon fiber made it into supercars. And CPC Group is prominently featured in there because CPC Group is working with these companies, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Pagani, Di Tomaso, Maserati. Actually, I forgot to put Maserati in there. Maserati is another company that's based in Modena. So essentially, as it turns out, Aptera is going to be made out of carbon fiber. Not the traditional sheet laid up carbon fiber, but more pressed carbon fiber, which has both its advantages and disadvantages. And we'll talk about that in another video. But it's really cool because essentially the same company that's making the structural parts for supercars is making the structural parts for an Aptera. So in a way, Aptera is a super efficient supercar that you can actually afford. Okay, well, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks as always to our supporting members. Have a great day. We'll have more videos to follow up on this later.